Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel. Welcome to my bed. I thought that it would be fun to do a new series on my channel where occasionally I share funny or embarrassing stories that have happened to me for your enjoyment. And I thought that my bed would be a perfect place, just like you're telling your friend at a sleepover or something. So sorry if the angle's a little wonky. We'll work with it if this continues. Today, I thought that we would start off with the story of the worst theater production I was ever in. Let me set the mood for you. The year is 2013. It's my senior year of high school and I am excited because we're doing Into the Woods. It's a complicated musical, as some of you might know, but it's a fun musical. And I was very excited because I wanted to play the role of the witch. I hadn't gotten a lead role before, but you know, it was kind of like known that, like, you know, typically seniors would get like priority for roles over anybody else because like you're graduating, right? And like you've been there the longest. So I was like, this is my year to shine, right? I was like I was really good, like really close with the theater teacher, and I was constantly like, the witch, I want to be the witch, you know, stuff like that, right? She was super encouraging of it and was like, oh my gosh, yes, I think that you would make like an awesome witch, you should totally go for it, blah blah blah, right? She was also telling me like, add Baker's wife on there, like I just want you to audition for everything. So I was like, okay, sweet, right? So auditions come, I'm like, I nail the audition, and then the cast list gets posted and I didn't get the witch. And actually me and my best friend of who she told us to go for the witch and the baker's wife got the evil stepsisters. Let me say that one more time. We got the evil stepsisters. Lucinda, I don't even remember the other one's name, Florinda or something? Who cares? So needless to say, we were not very happy. I considered dropping out, not because I'm a sore loser, just because there were a lot of other things that I will get into about this production that I was not happy about, and a lot of messed up casting decisions that were made. I think only one senior was cast in a lead role, and like all of the good people who were actually actors and like doing stuff outside of school got the smallest of parts. Anyway, skip forward a little bit. We start rehearsals, right? So our teacher reveals to us, let me go back. Should have mentioned this before, but the theater teacher thought that it would be smart to team up with the choir teacher. I don't know. And therefore opened it up to all the choir students. Now that's fine. The problem was these choir students had never acted a day in their lives. And you guessed it, they got lead roles, including the baker's wife. If you're unfamiliar with Into the Woods, the baker's wife is like pretty much the lead of the show, minus the baker. Anyway, everybody was upset at this point that there were people who were not very talented actors given these roles, and on top of that they were very cocky. Like the girl who played the baker's wife was very cocky about her singing, but she was a terrible actress, right? And she had obviously gotten it because she was the favorite of the choir teacher. So very obvious why a lot of us did not get roles, because we were not favorites of the choir teacher. Maybe it's also important that I point out too, I went to an art school. It's better now than it was when I went there, but like why we had a theater teacher who did not feel confident in doing a musical and enlisted the choir teacher, couldn't tell you. So we start rehearsals, and this is when it becomes very noticeable that our choir teacher doesn't know how to teach music either, because she is very confused by the music of Into the Woods, which it's complicated, but I had listened to Into the Woods many times. I also feel like, you know, I can't exactly read music, but I'm pretty good about like keeping on beat and understanding music. And she would try to teach music to people and she would have them singing at completely wrong times. They would be so off the music and like off key and everything. and she wouldn't correct them. She would be confused herself. So I remember that there was a time where I was like, nope, actually you're incorrect. Yes, I was that person. And I was like, this is when they're supposed to come in. This is the timing that they're supposed to come on. Like, you're welcome. Otherwise the opening number would have been terrible. Everybody was confused on the timing of the music. She would not go over the notes or anything with people, so everybody was off key, singing the wrong notes, sounding terrible, and she just allowed it. Then my theater teacher tells us that she wants to do the show in the round, which basically means that the stage is in the middle and the audience is all around us, like in a dome shape, okay? Cool. Here was the problem with that. We were in a tiny, like 10-foot by 10-foot black box theater in my school. So there was not much room for anything in that theater. So our set pieces consisted of one stump in the middle that kind of like was the stage, but it was like tiny, like I'm talking like a 3-foot long stump, and a tower off in the corner. That's it. The rest of it was just black curtains and black floors. Here is the thing that feels illegal about this show. If you've seen that TikTok where it says, what's a show you've done that feels illegal? I feel like I should have gone to jail for this. We only did the first act of Into the Woods. We didn't do the second act. We literally ended it at the end of the first act when Cinderella gets married and everybody's happy and singing. That's how we ended it. And you know why we ended it like that? Because my theater teacher said she wanted a happy ending. Which then I said, why are we doing Into the Woods? Make it make sense, guys. Also forgot to mention that they cast certain people as understudies, right? But they also gave them other roles. And the people that they cast as understudies, they didn't work with them at all on the blocking, on the lines, on anything. They gave them teeny tiny parts and just kind of like sent them on their way. And they were like freshmen, so they didn't even really know what was going on. One night, the baker's wife got very, very sick and sounded like a frog. And I was like, bet you wish you worked with your understudy now, don't you? That night was rough. I probably sound very mean, but I feel like if you're in theater, you can relate. So it was a little crazy. Lighting wasn't that good either. Nobody knew the music, as I said. It was just all together a train wreck. And I remember that towards the end, it just kind of turned into like me and all my friends were stuck with like crappy parts, and we were just like, at least we can have fun together and like might as well make jokes about how terrible everything is. Man, I'm not the best singer or anything, but I would be sitting backstage like, doesn't sound good, or like they're off key or off beat, you know. It just altogether was not good. I remember my mom coming, and my mom is very supportive, and she was like, not the best. That's pretty much the story. It was crazy. After that, you know, obviously it didn't do too well. We did a showcase, which usually would include things that we did throughout the year, such as our musical, but we didn't even include our musical in it. Nobody told us why, but I'm pretty sure we all knew why it was not being included. Anyway, I went on to graduate. I was a lead in other roles in community theater, which is a way more positive experience and bigger than a high school play. It was just altogether very funny and didn't make any sense to me. I think that about wraps up that story. Very chaotic, and there's more details that I'm sure I'm forgetting, but you get the gist. If you guys like this, be sure to let me know, and maybe I will share more stories, more embarrassing, funny stories in the future, because trust me, there's a lot. Thank you so much for watching, guys. Make sure to subscribe down below and comment your worst production experience. I would love to hear it. Thanks for watching, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye.